Hey there cats, good time of the day to you and thank you for tuning in to my channel. The game of the day is named Vampyr, and before I'll actually start you showing things, I feel like I should say a word or two about the game itself. If you don't want to listen to my opinion, just use a timecode and jump straight to the console shenanigans, it should be in the description. But for the rest of you, I feel like I should do it because the game is relatively modern and I usually stick to racing games or to retro games, and therefore I think that my average subscriber might find it interesting why I've engaged with this game, what I've thought about it, and whether or not should said subscriber himself play this game. I'll try to be brief, so here we go. In 2 words, I found the game mediocre. Every plus was not without a minus, or rather, every minus was not without a plus. And here's what I mean. The game is mostly story and dialogues, and said dialogues feel completely awful at times. Like, the text itself is alright, even good on occasion. It is thought-provoking and it makes me want to quote some parts of it, and voice acting is top-notch. But still, the dialogues, sometimes they do not quite work as a dialogue. Characters, it doesn't feel like they even talk to each other on occasion, The phrases do not connect at all. It's like they're just saying their thoughts aloud in an empty room, and this is frustrating for a story-oriented game. Aside from being story-oriented, Vampyr is a game where you're a vampire hiding amongst humans, and surprisingly or not, stealth in a game with such a premise is completely useless. I mean, there's even an ability to become invisible, but even that doesn't do much in the end of the day, since the game simply refuses to open doors for you at times until you defeat some particular enemies. The game doesn't even bother to lock the door and make enemies drop a key. The prompt for opening a door simply doesn't appear until you kill some specifically designated enemies, which makes me feel that someone has been quite lazy, because there are plenty of locked doors and keys in the game are numerous. There are just moments when the game ditches all those mechanics and simply disables the prompt. I've been out of my shoes to trick the game into showing said prompts, because I kind of aimed for a pacifist run or something. I mean, I mostly didn't want to attack the local Inquisition, named the Guard of Privan. Their chaplains in particular remind me of my character from the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, and I really did not want to go against those guys. Which brings us to the point of AI, since in Vampyr, AI is particularly dumb. I mean, I guess the AI didn't change much since the first Thief or so, but in this game for some reason it feels particularly bad. Like, here's an example. The Guards of Privan does not attack you outright and instead tells you to stay back, return home and stuff. You can start doing vampire things to provoke them or outright smack them a bit with your sword and then just disappear in a puff of smoke and they will lose you outright. And apparently every memory of their encounter with you will be erased, because they will just return to their doings completely unalarmed. And if that was not enough, AI also suffers a lot from invisible walls when they just stop chasing you for zero reasons. But on the other hand, the combination of these facts is what allowed me to do a nearly pacifist run which I aimed for. Throughout my playthrough, I guess I killed less than 20 Privan guards, and only because the game made me to do so at certain times, as I've said before. But in general, during general gameplay, I always managed to avoid Privan guards or run past them or whatever else, and even during some missions, even though I had to use cheat table with infinite blood and some other hacks, I still managed to lure Privan guards far enough to trigger the needed prompt and proceed with my mission. And were AI in this game any smarter, it would have been quite a challenge, if not impossible. So I guess I'm satisfied with the AI in the end of the day, though I still think the devs could have simply paid more attention to the stealth-inclined mechanics. But since stealth is not an option and you have to engage in combat, I guess the question that raises itself is, how is the combat? And well, as in most modern games, skill in Vampyr doesn't mean much, because all enemies are leveled and therefore everything is tied to numbers. Level of your weapon, level of your character, level of your enemies, numbers, numbers, pure numbers. You can one-shot things or you can run into an undefeatable bullet sponge. So skill is not quite applied to this game in my opinion. At least you can hack your health rather easily if you are low leveled and you really want to go somewhere. And since the devs didn't bother with developing something that will reward skill, the combat system in general turned out quite bland, and I once again have to ask why the fuck they didn't let the player just avoid the combat and go full stealth. But I gotta say, I still managed to get positive vibes out of combat because I used console and got myself all weapons from the very start. That resulted in a very satisfactory gameplay. The game mechanics, you see, they include reloading, and thing is, reload is long. Or at least it was for me, since I only used revolvers, shotguns and crossbows. I can imagine automatic pistols being reloaded faster. Anyway, thing is, all the weapons you find are always with you, and instead of reloading you can switch to the loaded weapon via inventory. And it was rather cool to encounter bullet sponges with tons of health who can kill you into hits and unload all you have into their squishy bodies. Towards the end of the game though, the whole ranged combat becomes rather easy. And I cannot blame it on me getting weapons from the very start, because by the end of the game any player would have a number of powerful instruments to kill. And thing is, weapons upgraded to maximum are, well, powerful. Probably way too powerful. So thing is, I played on normal difficulty and I found the game easy even without using any kind of vampire powers. Shotgun to the face solved most of my problems instantly. Though on another hand, shooting demons with a sawn-off is a classic and feels as badass as always. So I, do not really complain. Endgame was alright for me, did not last too long, and for those of you who want some challenge, there's a hard mode. I just want to point out that you cannot change the difficulty during a playthrough, so be sure to choose the right difficulty from the start. Combat aside, Vampyr is a modern game, so you have one more thing that is kind of usual for modern games, namely talking characters from all sides of political spectrum. At least this time they are not that annoying and, well, you can kill off everyone you don't like. Though the whole process only brings more questions to the table. Thing is, for the perfect ending you have to leave everyone alive. You are not allowed to kill off even a single character, and... where do I start? Well, why am I allowed to kill guards of Every1? Why is there not even a simple counter for them? Our character says in the end, I vowed not to take even a single life and I succeeded. No, you haven't! I can imagine an average player who didn't bother with avoiding guards with cheat engine like I did filled several mass graves with Every1 corpses. Alright, fine. What if I want to get rid of character but just kill him? Not to drink his blood? Well, those of you who thought that such approach is not an option, you are right. The game only allows you to kill named character with your vampire powers. Somehow sticking a shotgun to their head is not an option. And sometimes it seems really evil. There's a woman who is mind-controlled by a powerful vampire and he forces said woman to feed on dead rats. The woman literally begs you to end her life, but by doing so you automatically lock yourself out of the best ending of the game. Isn't it unfair? Why there's not an option to end this woman humanely, not vampirically? So you could feel good and still get the best ending. I mean, console gives you such an option, we are coming to that, but so far I want to note that the requirement of not killing even a single named character in order to get the best ending probably ruins the whole game. Arguably the main entertainment of the game is to kill off certain characters and then see how a death of a character impacted people around him. And by default, if you aim for the best ending, you have to deprive yourself of that. I also have to note that killing off characters is the only way to change anything in the world at all. As I've said, you cannot kill characters with a shotgun, well, alright, but thing is, you cannot make them do anything peaceful way either. You cannot free the woman who eats rats from the influence of a vampire, and no matter how much clues you find, how much quests you complete, and how much dialogue you will have, every character will be steadfast in his decisions and actions, and will not change a thing about their lives. Once again, the only way to change things in this game is to kill people, and that is why it feels particularly cruel that normally you cannot kill even one if you aim for the best ending. But well, finally, before getting to console commands, I have one more grudge to express. Grudge. Whatever. The ending of Vampyr. No spoilers, but it leaves you with only one thought. What the fuck was that? And pretty much none of those things are explained. When you ask a particular character about one of them, he straight away replies, nah, I won't explain fuck to you. The only solace is that the main character seems to share the aversion to the absurdity that goes around him and appears to be as annoyed by it as I am. But it barely makes the ending itself anyhow better. I think the devs should have stick to the scientific side of the game and leave all kinds of supernatural entities out of it. The sole fact that crosses seem to hold the power against vampires would have been just enough, everything else was unneeded. Okay, here we come to the point of activating console and using console commands in Vampyr, and first thing you will need is to download a program named Universal Unreal Engine 4 Unlocker. Here comes the first catch, and I've spent quite some time trying to understand the deal, but Unreal Engine 4 Unlocker just doesn't work with the GOG version of Vampyr for whatever reason. I've tried all the versions I could try it on GOG version. I've tried 3014, 3013, 3021, 469, 4612, nothing worked. So if you have a GOG version of the game, your only option is to find yourself a Steam version. Just saying, fine, it is up to you how you do it, but probably if you already bought a game on the GOG, you probably shouldn't buy it on Steam again. Anyway, once you've got yourself a Steam version of the game, you can unpack Unreal Engine 4 Unlocker somewhere. I prefer mine to be in the folder of the game, but it really should work from anywhere. Then you launch UUU client exe, then you launch Vampyr game, and actually, as long as you are in this main menu, you can launch select a process, IV game, Vampyr, and you press inject DLL, and there goes the messages. This is the one we need. Console activated. Press, I'm not sure how it's called in English. In Russian we call this symbol tilde. So press tilde in game. Pardon me, I completely forgot I need a second keyboard for tilde. My Commodore 16 keyboard, well, it has it, but it doesn't work for whatever reason. Let me try it. Yeah, it doesn't work. So here we go. Yeah, on my second keyboard it works. Here's our console. And here comes, by the way, oh well, a bit later, just a bit later. Let's first load our game and let me take a look at my pretty face. I've killed several people here, so it shouldn't be that pretty. Yeah, ugly motherfucker. So, what we do now? We take this command. Where is my command? Where is my command? This command. Set GPAV player state default C domination level threshold. And this command, it pretty much controls everything in the game. At least it definitely controls the amount of citizens it killed, but thing is, the amount of citizens you've killed affects a lot of stuff. It affects the way your character appears, it affects some dialogues with other people like Usher Talltree who knows how many people you killed. It affects the final, obviously the final cutscene, and overall, it is pretty much the ultimate thing, the ultimate values that should work in the game. And if you want to kill everyone, feel free to enter something like 98, 99, alright, let's go from 96. 97, 99, though I'm pretty sure it's just integer values, so you can enter something like this here. Let's just try it out, I hope the game won't crash. Now, when we enter this command, all we got to do now is either go to bed and wait a day, or return to main menu and reload our save. This will be enough for the changes to take place, and the only problem here is you have to enter this command every time you launch the game, because this is the value that the game picks up from the file, so you gotta refresh it every time manually. But here we are, and now, yeah, we are on domination level 0, we are fine fellows who never killed anyone, even though by this time I've already carved a bloody path in hospital. and didn't even reach West End. Anyway, I already killed 3 people, and yeah, as you can see, I'm totally fine. So this is the most important command if you want to get the good ending. What else I have to note? There are certain requirements for the endings which can be found online, like this one, and I'm not sure if it is really needed, because I think the actually ending like holds ending pillars, so to say. There are only 2 pillars for the ending: the damnation level and whether or not any district has collapsed. So damnation level, I've already told you how to fix that and how to prevent a district from collapsing. I will just, before I'll tell you, I gotta say that I didn't really check all these things. Like, I'm not sure if you can kill Dorothy Crane, for example, and then get the good ending. Maybe some extra switches, extra boolean values, which would prevent you from getting the best ending. So if you really want to get the best ending, you should better stick to something like these guidelines, you know. But you can definitely kill every citizen and let every district collapse and still get the good ending. And here's how to make the district collapse, but at the same time prevent it from collapsing. This command helps us. Thing is, the game actually has a function which reads "won't go hostile until this mission is complete," and it is pretty straightforward. So all you got to do is set the value to the last mission, so the district won't go hostile until you complete the last mission, and obviously after the last mission it's already too late. You get the ending, so the district can collapse, you don't care. And here is the value, this particular command. It will make the hospital won't go hostile, hospital district won't go hostile until the very last mission. And we punch it in, and to demonstrate that it works, I will load the very last save game of mine. Well, not the last. And this is one more issue with Vampyr. By default, you only have 1 save game, so always make manual backups of your save games. Here's my batch of backups. And the save game we need is, let's say, testing hints hack. It will come handy for the next hack as well. So now we load this mission, and you'll see that the hospital is kinda hostile, but at the same time it's not like, well, destroyed, so to say. Very neat hack, really. So here we go. Neat. And where's our hospital? Here it is. Its health percentage is 39 in hostile, but as you can see, all the characters are alright, and yes, I've got the good ending with this percentage, so it definitely works, I can tell you this much. What else do we have here? String for crossbow updates. Oh yes, thing is, what I wanted to say right now, just remembered, I should have said it from the start, but whatever. Thing is, I'm not quite sure how to get console commands in Unreal Engine 4 or any Unreal Engine for that reason. It is not really The Elder Scrolls 3, where you could get all console commands by just typing help or something like that. And my approach so far to getting console commands was scouring the memory of the game with Cheat Engine and unpacking the game files and then searching through the game files for this stuff, for anything that looks like console commands. You see, this is my unpacked files, and I go into packages. For example, let's find values for districts. GP district hospital. Let's find values for other districts. So in our unpacked files, we search for GP district hospital, and we go here to where this file is located, and here all our districts. And I should probably write it down here. But thing is, I don't know of any better approach to how to find these values in the console. And there's a guy on Nexus Mods who uploaded several console commands, and some of his values, I have no idea how he got them. For example, here commands like this, AW game, AW weapon launch, I ammo consumed by each shot of this, AW game, AW player set, evolution XP to spend, and I have no idea how that guy got these commands. If you have any pointers on how to find commands for console in Unreal Engine 4 more efficiently, please do let me know. So far I've tried to contact this guy on Nexus Mods, but so far, yeah, no answer. Status is not ready yet, unfortunately. If you know anything, please do let me know. I need your help as well. I'm here to provide help, but I need your help as well. So back to the list of my commands. This is string for crossbow upgrades. Thing is, if you've acquired yourself a crossbow via one of the mods from the Nexus mods that this guy provided, and reset the crossbow to level 1, which is somewhere here. Here is, yeah. Weapons my variant. Here, yes. So, crossbow. Here, Mason crossbow level 1. So if you reset crossbows to level 1 and you want to upgrade crossbows to level 5 manually, you will need an item which is named string. And by default, where is my... Oh yeah, here it is. Here is the string, and by default there is not even a single string in the game world. This is the item which you cannot find legally, so if you write yourself crossbows, this is a very useful item. Strings. I believe it is in the weapons my variant. String. No, it's not. I haven't added it for whatever reason. Well, I guess I'll add it here and just update my file. Here are several loot containers which you can use as well. Once again, I wouldn't tell you how exactly to use it. You just use this command and this fuck you on Nexus mods. This particular, well, I guess we can. Yeah, we can visit his profile, go to the mods, and I'll attach all the links as usual. Just want to show you how to use all the stuff. Here's his weapons mod, which is a good thing. Oh no, this is something completely crazy. This is new weapons mod. This is not what... Ooh! Yeah, I haven't even seen that. What I really wanted to show you is... Here, this thing, crossbows and weapons unlocker. So, using this thing and my commands, you should be able to construct your own commands for console with the items you need for the particular containers. Unfortunately, the only way to find if a container corresponds to the command is to open it and use a line like get and this. So once you use this line in the game, it will return what is supposed to be in that container. So you locate some kind of container, and then you like click F. I really don't have containers around. I've pretty much opened everything. Anyway, so the container we used is supposed to have small bag of junk. So if there was a container nearby, I just had to open it, see what's inside, and see if the items inside correspond to what the console returned. And since there's a number of containers in the game, it can be rather tedious, but I found several containers for you, and this guy found several containers for you, so you can put whatever you want in them using these commands. And one item that is useful for crossbows is string. This is when it comes to containers. I also once used a container in the theater in order to get a mission, a key that was required to get the Usher Talltree notebook without killing any of the prison guards. Yeah, as I've said, I was quite aiming for the pacifist walkthrough. Our game content facts and list of containers can be found in the game files as well. I believe I should remove the C. Yeah, the files in the game are without the extra ~C. But when you punch it into the console of the game, you usually have to add the ~C to the name of the file. And yeah, this here is the list of all the loot containers, and everything that is here you can use to add a loot of your own. If you have troubles with containers, you can add your loot to the citizens, you know. So when you kill someone, you can add it to the citizens' corpse, so to say. Or here, for example, there's Aloysius chest. Chest? Yeah, chest is the word, I guess. Aloysius chest. So these are very comfortable containers that are like accessible during the story, so you can pick that and add it there. I guess I will provide you with the list of all containers in the game, though it won't be way comfortable to browse, I guess, but that's the best I can do to save you from unpacking the files yourself, which can be rather tedious. Anyway, what do we have next? This we already covered, and this we already covered as well. Alright, oh, this is an interesting one. Thing is, with these commands you can modify any weapon you want, and I did this and modified one of the revolvers to have the same weapon slots as the DLC weapon Barker. And what's interesting, the modified revolver, which has exact same weapon slots as Barker, has exact same amount of damage. Even more, it turns out to be a better weapon than the pre-order weapon, because revolver has the same amount of damage, all the same weapon slots, but it has 1 bullet extra. 6 bullets instead of 5. So yeah, quite a handy command. Oh yeah, and what's the best part of it is once you've changed the slots, it is written in your save game, so this command you do not have to punch it in every time you load the game. One time is enough. Once you did it, these slots will stay exactly the way they are every time you load the game. So yeah, quite handy. And you can turn the revolver into anything you want. I guess the options here are quite self-explanatory, and once again I guess I should provide... Oh no, the list of weapons is actually already provided in this. Weapons my variant, so you can use search for revolvers to find the weapons you need. Oops, pardon me. It's just hidden. Here it is. Weapon gun revolver, and as you can see, this is exactly the line I've used here. Well, plus ~C, as I've told you. So yeah, this is pretty much set. And if you are not sure which models you can use, well, you use the command get instead of set, and you get all the models that the gun uses by default. All this stuff, you get it. Man, semi-automatic pistol has incendiary damage mod. This is the first time I enter the semi-automatic pistol modding menu, and it has incendiary damage, while the revolver by default does not. Hey, this is a discrimination against 6-shooters, I'm telling you. Anyway, once again, by using this command you can do whatever you want, and you can you can make an ultimate stun gun or something that fits your player style. Though, as I've said in my, so to say, introduction, ranged weapons are overpowered as is. So yeah, not sure if you want it, but I kind of wanted to experiment, and I wanted incendiary damage on my revolver, so I found it useful. Anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, death consequences. This is also a function. I wanted to set death consequences so they won't... so I would not have this massive health status drop in the district from the death of Edgar Swansea. Spoilers! But it didn't quite work, so instead I've just... I'm not sure what these values do, you know, but they do not... I hope that they will somehow react with the health status of the district, but they didn't. I removed them all and nothing changed. The health status still dropped. It's very weird, I'll tell ya. So, yeah. Instead, I've used the command which I've showed you in the first place. But what can you do instead is to add additional death consequences. Why would you want that, you would ask? Well, personally, I added all the join prevent consequences. Well, aside from the one where I believe Pericle, where is this guy? Pericle and Agamemnon. Pericle's Baker. This is the one I didn't add, but I've made Kimura Tadao, Venus Crossley, and Joe Peterson and Giselle Paxton. I made all of them join the guard of Priven upon the death of Edgar Swansea. Why? Well, because I can, because I find it a bit more fun, because I would love to see something in the game change without me killing someone, and because I like Guard of Priven, and overall I found it fun. It kind of added to my endgame, made the whole city a bit more dangerous, and overall it works nicely. In fact, we can go check out on Tadao Kimura right now. Two of the guards of Priven worked without a hitch, namely Joe Peterson and how was her name? Giselle Paxton, I believe. Yeah, they worked perfectly. Kimura Tadao and Venus Crossley also worked, but did not quite as perfectly, because Venus Crossley and Kimura Tadao now exist in two instances in the world. Here is Kimura Tadao, who is a guard of Priven, and here's a Kimura Tadao, who is a citizen. For some reason he moved from his usual citizen place to the place where you save him, but anyway, I don't care much. That's my endgame, and I do not interact with Kimura Tadao, so yeah. It suited my purposes, so to say. But that's kind of stuff which you can do with death consequences command. Or function, or whatever else, whatever you call it. I guess the command would be set death consequences. Anyway, the thing is, it worked fine, and it was kind of an interesting experiment in my eye, and you can do all kinds of stuff with that. I'm still not sure if I should like polish it and make myself understand what I need to change to not to appear Kimura Tadao in two instances, though I suspect it is just, you know, a native glitch in the game and it is not my fault. It's quite probable that death consequences join Priven Kimura Tadao, or whatever its name is worked as intended. Because, you know, it's quite possible that this is the default glitch in the game. I've heard something similar happens to Venus Crossley, at least. That when she joins Priven Guard, there is still an instance of her in her home. Something along those lines. And well, here's another important command, which I found useful. and this command allows you to unlock hints. I have to know that I still do not know how to make the skins you failed, the hints you missed, to like unfail them. So this command only works on the hints you haven't acquired yet. Namely, here I've tried to get the last hint about Charles Jerome Albright, and it's just a matter of principle. I wanted to pick the dialogue I felt like suits my character, the character I wanted to play, and I didn't want to lose the hint. And here comes my rather long research. You might take a look at it, might find something useful. And here's finally the command that works. BP show picture C. There's an explanation for this command, but here's how it works. You punch it here into the console, and now every item that is supposed to show you the picture will unlock this hint, except this one. Oh yeah, even this one, oh damn. Well, that's how it works. Now we have the hint and now we cannot lose it. Let's now go, just to prove myself, pick the dialogue which I wanted to pick from the very start. Here we go. Where's Charles Jerome Albright? Somewhere around this place. There he is.
What has happened to the London that Dr. Reed, still conducting your nocturnal survey?
Is it true you were dropped in rank? Tell me about it.
Yes, it is. I made a terrible mistake, and I deserved it. Sometimes I think I should have resigned.
So why are you still working here?
Because I'm a damn fine copper. I just don't want to have someone innocent hung again by mistake because of me.
The death penalty can sometimes be appropriate.
Those are strange, cold words coming from a doctor who claims to take every risk to save lives on these dangerous streets.
And why this dialogue is supposed to block this question away from you is beyond my understanding. This is just one more stone into the garden of this game. It has very weird decision, and this hint is not even the most like criminal, because as many people pointed out online, there is this Usher Toltree hint number 3, which is actually referred to in the very first dialogue you have with him, but for some reason you have to complete the quest in order to unlock this hint. And well, anyway, this useful command can be used to unlock hints you want to prevent from being locked, or you can use this command to unlock hints you missed, like left them in this gray status, not crossed out, not failed, just missed. Such hints exist. For example, Dr. Edgar Swansea hints are very nasty. I almost missed one, and thanks God I prefer to play with walkthroughs by my side, because otherwise, if not to the guide I found online, I would have never figured out how to get hints from Swansea in the first place. Turns out there appears an exclamation point on the map, and once you complete the next point of the main quest, you cannot return to that exclamation point anymore. It just disappears and you miss the hint. That's it. So if you find yourself in this jeopardy right now, you can use this small command to unlock the hint you want. Easy peasy. So what else do we have here? Well, the rest of the commands are either my experimental research which didn't quite work, or the commands which this guy found, Alfred Stryker, on Nexus Mods, and you can read his readmes right here on Nexus Mods. I will link them. I will link everything in the description as usual. And well, Boy, that took me half an hour. It was supposed to be a short video. Anyway, this is about it. To sum up my feelings about Vampyr, well, the game is mediocre. The game is mediocre, and what keeps me in this game is actually the feeling, you know, the notion, the atmosphere, something like this. I usually say that I'm not the graphics guy, and this is true. The graphics is not the main thing, but it's not like they do not count at all, and this game really managed to make an eye candy of this grim gothic London. So if you're into this kind of thing, it works. And the main character, his story is very sad, and it works as well. The story overall works as well, even though the ending sucks. The way the main character has to fight through, you know, all the things that happen to him and his family, it's sad and it works. And the overall, you know, overall notion of a man of science encountering something supposedly supernatural, I only really see it in old movies like original Mummy from 1934, I believe, or original Dracula. You don't see this often in games, and it really works in Vampyr. I liked it for what it takes. At least it dragged me through the game. So, yeah, all the minuses are overweighted by this atmosphere and this approach of a man of science who tackles the supernatural threat. Once again, the ending kinda ruined it, but until the ending it was cool, and it made me want to play this game until the end, so I guess it worked. Whether or not it will work for you is a question that I can't answer. Once again, the notion is the game is mediocre, and I've had to use console, cheat engine and my fantasy to get satisfaction from it, and I've mainly played it for the atmosphere. And the closest game when it comes to the atmosphere is, I guess, Dishonored. Dishonored was much more entertaining, I'll give it that. But if you play Dishonored and Dishonored 2 and want something more like that, I guess Vampyr is the way to go. I really cannot find a game closer in my mind, at least. I think Dishonored is the closest game to the Vampyr when it comes to the design, the feelings and the atmosphere. If you have any questions, let me know, I will be happy to assist. Just please do not ask how to do this or that, because as I've said, I don't quite know how to find console commands for Unreal Engine efficiently. So if there's not a command in my file that does something, then I simply do not know what you have to punch in order to make the game do what you want. Other than that, thanks for being with me, cats. Stay cool, good luck. Meet the key. Good luck!